Hello, welcome to our webinar today. My name is John. I am on the product team at Nalparin, and we are really excited to have you today as we talk about AI and how it affects sales and how teams can look at AI in a whole different way to help their sales team instead of some of the scarier things like replacing your sales team. We're going to dive into all of that today. So thanks for being here, and let's get right to it. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. So as promised, now is the time to double down on sales versus looking at AI agents to do the job for them. The average B2B sale is not closed in just a conversation or two, as maybe we all think it is, right? We think, oh yeah, you have that great pitch, then you call back and all of a sudden everything's tied up and ready to go. No, in fact, what we find in a lot of the research that we do is there's a lot of touch points that have to happen before a sale is successfully closed. And if you're in sales or lead a sales team, you're very much aware of that. You may not be aware that the average sale requires about 62 customer touch points. So quite a few touch points in that journey, in that sales cycle, before you can actually hit that gong and celebrate a new customer. All right, so that's a lot of what we want to talk about today with all of you. And if you read the news and see what's out there, you don't have to look far to hear a lot of folks talking about agents, AI agents, and how 2025 is going to be the year of the agent. And you can see even in this slide here, taken from a news article, NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang says AI agents are going to be deployed. It's inevitable. And frankly, we'd agree with that, but we want to temper it a bit by talking about what's the best way to deploy an AI agent in 2025. Just as a definition, AI agents are systems that perceive details of the surrounding environment, process, and reason the next steps, and then go and execute on these steps to achieve specific goals. You can see the rest of the quote here, but typically what we're talking about is an autonomous bot that's going to work on its own to go and close sales, or in this case, to go and close sales, right, for our topic today. But it really could be across any type of job function, the deployment of an AI agent. And that all sounds great, right? Efficiency and cost savings, but it also comes with a little bit of risk. And I would pose the question today, are we really ready to replace workers with AI agents? We're seeing this a lot, right? Will they boost stocks or will they take your job, right? That's what Market Watch is asking. And a lot of folks are predicting, yes, they can do the same job that a seller does today. Well, let's take a step back for just a moment. I want to talk a little bit about what's transpired over 3 years. And I think this is a fun example to use. In 2021, so 3 or 4 years ago, McDonald's and IBM formed a partnership to deploy bots in their drive-through. And their drive-through is just one touch point, right? Two if you include taking the money and handing the food. But it's an order and you are, in and out, right? That is the whole idea of a drive-through. So this seems like a logical place to deploy an AI agent. And frankly, I would have expected a successful outcome here. But that's not what happened. What customers found was their, pretty simple order for 6 or 12 nuggets ended up being a little more than that. In the case of this one customer who tested it and posted the results on social media, their order ended up being 260 McNuggets. I can eat a lot, but I can't get that far. 260 nuggets is quite a bit. There was just a disconnect between the customer and the AI agent. So if we can't get that right, if we can't even place McNuggets, are we really ready to take AI agents and put them into the same role that sellers do every day? I don't know. Frankly, I'm a little bit hesitant. And as you might expect, earlier, I guess in 2024, halfway through 2024, IBM and McDonald's said, you know what? Let's not do this anymore. This is what we're here to talk about today, not to dismiss AI agents. No, I think they can actually be quite valuable, but how do we use them in a complementary way to our sellers? So that's what we're here to do. Let's double down on sales and let's augment the team with the right AI capabilities. A little bit about me. Again, my name's John. I'm the Chief Product Officer here at Nowparen. I've spent about 12 years in product management. And what's really relevant for today's call, today's webinar, is I was formerly in business operations. So I was supporting sellers. And then when I shifted over to product management, I spent a lot of time building product for salespeople. And as we'll talk about at the end, I'm building a product right now that I'm really excited about for sales teams as well. So I'm working really closely with sellers now and have really throughout my career. It's a role I respect a lot, mainly because I don't know if I could do it. And I've seen some really good ones in my time. But yeah, we'll talk more about that as we go. And just one more thing about me, I'm a firm believer in AI, right? I mean, it's obviously hit a hockey stick curve in terms of its popularity and growth, mainly because of the advancements in technology and being able to process data and the amount of data we have at our disposal, and of course, open AI just making it accessible. But I'm also a firm believer in human-centered sales. As I mentioned just a moment ago, when you see a really good salesperson doing their best work, um, it's magical. It's amazing how they can connect with folks, how they can empathize, right, and solve the problem. And the best sellers I've ever worked with said, it may not even be the product I'm going to, that I sell every day, may not be the right solution for my customer. I don't care. I am going to actually provide them the advice that they need and be helpful. And that comes from a really human component, right? That comes from a deep human connection that a salesperson makes. So what we're looking for today and what we want to explore is how do you balance all the innovation with data science and that human element of the salesperson? You can see here, most would agree with me, right? 83% of professionals familiar with AI believe it will augment human capabilities. But again, I want to stress that word augment. That's what we're here to really dive into. Right? And even Harvard Business Review, one of the most respected sources, at least as far as I can tell, says, well, AI is not going to replace humans, but humans with AI will replace humans without AI. Okay. And I firmly believe in that one as well. If we've got tools at our disposal that we should be using to close deals, let's use them. Right? We're actually living in a really exciting time where there are these advancements, and now is the time to explore what can we use in terms of AI, in terms of automation, in terms of data intelligence that's going to help me do my job. So AI agents, yes, it may be the year of the agent, right? We may be in it right now as we still, we're still in the early stages of 2025. And if that's true, if you believe that, then let's invest in the repetitive steps, right? Really the tactical, dry steps that a salesperson has to do that we can take off their plate so they can spend their time doing those human element, human-centered tasks that they do so well. And that, again, can't be replaced with AI. So I could think of three. You might be at home or at work thinking of more than this, and there might be some obvious ones I missed. But these are three which I've seen throughout my career that I think could very easily be replaced, right? These tasks could be replaced with an AI agent. One, lead qualification. We know which leads have worked in the past. That's all in our CRM. We know a lot about the data that's coming in terms of the lead, where they work, right? Their motivation, their objective. Maybe not all the time, but for a good portion of the leads that come in, we can profile who this person is and are they likely to buy our products or be interested in our products, given folks that have purchased us in the past. So lead qualification is something that an AI agent could be really good at. Second, customer research. What are customers doing, right, in our product, in our trials? across all sorts of different web environments that might give me that tip that, hey, there's an intention to buy here, intention to buy more, intention to maybe take the trial a step further or start a trial, intention to just renew, right? Or an intention to add more users to their current usage plan. Whatever it might be, if we know what people are doing in our products, right? And I think most companies in the software space have that data. Well, gosh, let's use that and let's have an agent tell us these are the signals that you need to care about. These are the opportunities. These are the leads. Go pursue them. And then lastly, automated quote generation. So again, yes, it might involve different parties between, I don't know, legal and finance and the deal desk and the sales team. But there's also a lot of if-then logic built in. There's still a lot of workflows that could be automated. Why have a seller spend their valuable time doing this, right? When that can all be done by an agent. Come back and have, maybe you want to eyeball it or approve it. But for the most part, right, if built correctly, definitely something an AI agent can handle. I'm going to talk to you most about customer research because that's the world that I'm living in these days. And I want to share with you a general solution and then a specific solution and how you can implement that today. And what do we mean by customer behavior? Well, these are some of the questions we're trying to answer. How do my customers use my product? Are they using it in a way that might be interesting to me? Maybe they're using certain features. Maybe they're not getting all the value they could. Are customers getting value from a trial, from a POC? Are they using the full breadth of our product offering? Are they adopting our product appropriately? Right? There's some value here for even a customer success person. And then would customers benefit from other solutions of ours? Are there other tools, utilities, products that we could offer the customer to help solve more problems? Okay, that's the what and the why. How do I make this happen? As I mentioned earlier, most product engineering teams have access to first-party product data. That's saying we know who clicked what button on what day and how are we using the product. Next, can we aggregate all that data so that it makes sense? Can we turn data into information, apply that information, and gather insights that could be helpful for the whole team, right? Imagine being a seller and just getting a ping or a notification saying, hey, this customer just did something really interesting. You've got a new lead, go pursue it. That'd be great. Every seller would love that. And that's the third step, right? Let's turn that information, that wisdom into a signal that the seller can take and actually have a meaningful conversation with a customer. So that's the generic way, right? If you've got first party data, run some queries, aggregate it, and send that out to your salespeople. If you want to automate some of that with an agent, right? Or just AI, you can use our tool that just went into beta. So I'm gonna play this for you. It's a quick video, and you can see as a demonstration, I'm Brian Hughes, an account executive, and I'm going to go through 4 different modules of my product and see what are my customers doing in the product. Who's logging in? What type of activity are they having? Are they finding success? Hey, maybe this person's in a trial and doing really well. It's probably time for me to offer that promotion, right? Or to get them to close. Maybe someone's gone a little bit cold or starting to ghost us on the trial. I'm going to re-engage and try to help that customer through whatever it is that has them blocked. Same with retention with our current customers, which you can see the demo showing you now. I can look at whose engagement's high and who's low. I can try to save accounts that we might be losing. So a lot of good stuff there. And then lastly, grow. So we're covering the whole customer life cycle. With Grow, we can tell you, is someone going over their limits, right? Is someone adding users and maybe you're letting them add additional users or seats to your offering? Great. But let's go check that out. And then let's go have a helpful conversation with the customer so we can take advantage of that situation and help them get more value out of the product. All good things. everybody wins. Lastly, if we need to, we can email the people, the customers themselves, or even add an opportunity to our CRM so that, um, you know, we're putting this data where we work out of, which is typically our CRM and where our deals are. So that's just one example of what we're building. If you're interested, that's going to help you understand your customers better across the entire customer life cycle and provide you as a seller or your team of sellers the signals they need to go out and engage. And they don't have to log in anywhere, right? They're going to get an email saying, hey, here's some new ZenGain opportunities that we just detected. And these are similar to what we just looked at. Crimson Health is coming to the end of their trial and have low engagement, right? ZenGain Adopt has engagement that's low, and Harmony Wellness is doing a trial, but they're actively using it, right? So I always have my finger on the pulse of what a customer is doing, and a really good seller will have that. All right. Lastly, right, by automating these repetitive steps, reps will have more time to focus on engagement, right? Make those connections, people or person, human to human, person to person, go out, make those connections, grow closer to your customers in your market. And of course, that's going to pay dividends down the road. And that's the name of the game here. That's where AI can really help and be an assistant to the seller instead of its replacement. And lastly, if you liked what you saw before with ZenGain, our new product, we are just launching our beta now, collecting some names. It is restricted to only a few customers because we want to work closely with you. There'll be no financial commitment, so no cost up front, no cost in the future, but you'd have access to it for 6 months, and you'd work with our team on crafting the product and what it might look like in the future, trading ideas with folks that are a lot like you. We'd love to have you, and we're going to help you close deals, which is the best part with this product. I've implemented the product myself, and it took probably an afternoon when I added up all the time just to get it up and running. So really easy implementation too, which is possibly the best part of this. Can't beat that ROI. So thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you found value from this presentation, and we look forward to chatting soon. Thanks.